Welcome everybody to the Cult Classic Horror Show. Danny Bonin here with you.
Scotty Bonin back with you guys.
We are the Blood Brothers. And
Carmelo Chimera.
We are doing a live commentary to 1994's epic classic, may I say masterpiece, The Crow.
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Again, haven't watched this in forever, but used to watch it all the fucking time.
Yeah, it was definitely a favorite.
I had the soundtrack that I
opens with the sirens
over and over.
It's one of the best movie soundtracks of all time, and I wish I knew how they did this opening, because this is honestly, it kind of reminds me of the movie Dick Tracy. It's like probably part painted, part, I don't know. It almost looks like it could be miniatures.
Well, that what the director Alex, what is it, Porreus? I could pull it up again, but he wanted to film it in black and white, and then the studio's like, "You get the fuck out of town." And so, it's not in black and white, but it almost might as well be. It's very, thematic in its colors.
Yeah. And the comic is black and white, and I think that's probably why he wanted to do that.
So this is based on a comic then?
Yeah, so this is based on the graphic novel The Crow by James O'Barr, who I think he still lives in Chicago, actually. And it was inspired by true events, not necessarily the plot here, but his fiance was killed by a drunk driver before their wedding, and he went through years of tremendous grief and depression.
So nothing to do with the movie.
That inspired him to write the story of Eric.
Carmel was about to say that he turned into an immortal being.
Yeah, I was about to say that, Rob. You fucked up the story. James O'Barr is like a god now.
They said that they eventually settled on Brandon Lee doing his own makeup the night before he shot, so that it would be done to his liking and look worn the next day.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
So interestingly, if you've ever read it, the movie's a great adaptation of the comic. It's extremely faithful in like tone and whatnot. But most of this story about, sort of the mobster and his crew and Devil's Night, that's made up to give the movie more of a plot. The comic reads like poetry. It's really strange. I've never seen another comic like it, but it's almost just like an illustrated poem.
So this part of the music makes me emotional too. Sorry, I'm gonna cry.
I'm with you, Scotty. If you start crying, I'm gonna start crying.
No, there's no kid. He doesn't have a daughter, right? There's no kids involved, so it's ultimately not that sad.
This is Sarah, played by Rochelle Davis. She was like the daughter figure. For both of them.
After I had children, unless people in question have children or children die, then it doesn't get me sad. It doesn't get my sadness tingles off anymore.
I mean,
so that's the only crack in your shell, huh?
Oh man. And it's a bad one. I never cried for anything anymore, like before, ever. And then I had kids, and then I'm just like a sobbing wreck sometimes.
Oh, I was sobbing before, and I'm even more worse now.
This is bringing back memories. I am sitting in my dad's trailer or house, smell of weed in the air, that I didn't know that's what that was at the time.
It's some of these first scenes with Brandon Lee that weren't finished before his death. So a lot of this opening with, you're going to see a lot of the hair in his face and a lot of darkness, as he sort of assumes like here, this kind of stuff. It's not him, unfortunately. And we'll talk about his death when we get to that scene in a little bit.
I don't even know what scene it was.
I'll point it out.
I don't even really know.
Is it him? You said
some of that wasn't him.
Some of that wasn't him. Some of that, obviously, the close-ups are him. But like a lot of this stuff wasn't finished.
Yeah.
I mean, even the face painting scene wasn't him.
God, Brandon Lee's all ripped.
Yeah.
Got to get his boots back.
He's just the perfect physical specimen in this movie. And I meant that as gay as it sounds.
Good. Good.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get out from under that one. Certainly not trying to get out from under Brandon Lee. I'm not sure what city they filmed it in. I think this is supposed to be Detroit.
Obviously City Angels is California, but yeah, this is okay. Detroit sounds right.
Now I haven't seen the sequels. I've just heard they're just the worst.
They are the worst.
I didn't remember the second one being that bad, but maybe it was.
The second one was okay, but not good. Not.
And there's a third one?
Yeah.
What's one with Edward Furlong?
2, I think.
Oh no.
I think that's the third one with Furlong.
Oh no.
So this movie they attempted to remake this a couple years ago, and it was in development hell for just the longest time. Like I think for 5 or 10 years they've been trying to, and it got really close with Bradley Cooper at one point and
really?
Jason Momoa at another point. Yeah, to the point where there's concept art of them as the Crow.
For the 1994 version? Wow.
To remake this just in the last couple of years.
The remake. I see. Sorry.
Yeah. And I think it's sort of dumb because obviously this would be a difficult act to follow, but the whole point of the Crow is that the spirit of the Crow could possess anybody. And so I just think, why even redo Eric Draven's story when it was done so flawlessly? Just do another Crow story, and doesn't need to be a reboot, but that's just me.
The studio originally floated the idea of doing this as a musical with Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not bad. So this is the scene here. I think we're going to see in just a moment where Brandon Lee was shot. So that actor there is Michael Massey. He's unfortunately the one who pulled the trigger.
He was, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll see in a second she's gonna shoot Eric through a bag of groceries that there was a blood pack in. It looks like they didn't even that didn't even make it in, but he was supposed to walk in with a bag of groceries and he would have a blood pack in there and they would shoot him and it was going to pop. I guess what happened was there was some debris or something in the barrel. They didn't notice, and it probably wouldn't have been an issue, except that blanks that they use in the shotgun to get the louder and more impressive effects on screen, those blanks have like 3 times as much gunpowder as a normal shotgun shell. So it was enough to dislodge the debris and fire out, and Brandon Lee died, I think, instantly.
Jeez.
Some people say the director immediately walked up to the camera and just took the film out because he never wanted it to see the light of day. And I don't think it has. I don't think you can I don't think it's on any of those weird snuff sites or anything where you can see it. I don't think it's made it. But yeah, so it's not this fellow here, but the long blonde hair gentleman you'll see in a second.
Well, what it was from the revolver. A squib load fell in the barrel. So it was a .357 Magnum round that hit and killed him.
Oh my goodness!
So there was an actual round.
Well, I don't think it was a full round. They packed the barrel with something, right?
What it is in the movie, when somebody's drawing a revolver and the camera shoots up the barrel, they want to see the bullet heads. They want to see the leads.
Yeah.
The revolver's loaded, so it's called a squib load, and one of those actual real bullets dropped and wedged itself in the barrel. So when the blank went off, which is a .357 casing, it literally shot it like it was a .357 Magnum.
Can I just say real quick, this is one of my favorite songs of all time, and I listen to it all the time.
Really? What song is it?
Sure, it's so fucking good.
Oh yeah. Okay. There's some hits. Is that a sledgehammer? No, it's just
a pipe.
Pipe.
Yeah. Would someone really do that in the middle of a fight in an alley?
Yes.
Just get out his knives and start making a show and explaining.
He's the knife guy, Tintin.
I mean, in his defense, he thinks he's got this, and if he weren't superhuman, he would.
God, just how bad did those grunge chicks smell of the '90s? Like L7 and whoever else.
No, it don't.
I mean, you could just see they're unshowered. You can just look and see the body odor.
Yep,
now, I always thought this actress, or this character, I should say, that she's playing, just had the weirdest fucking lips
Mika.
ever. Just they just don't look natural. They don't belong on her. They should pop off.
Everybody in here talking about this, and nobody
Rabbit.
mentioned Tony Todd.
Are they implying that
Is Tony Todd in this? Yeah, he is.
Tony Todd's henchman number 1.
No one mentions Tony Todd anymore.
Oh
ever.
yeah, he is in this.
Is this guy that detective? I feel like he's in a Van Damme movie.
Ernie
But
Hudson?
Maybe he's not.
No,
I'm
this guy with
sure.
the crater face.
Yeah, what the fuck?
He was in Maniac
yeah.
2 and all kind of
He was
stuff.
in Maniac Cop 2?
Yep.
They finally meet again. He's about to tell her it can't rain all the time.
He's gonna say the thing.
And change this brooding young girl's life.
Here's the emotional music again.
Oh, my heart!
Oh, my heart!
Oh God, he said it.
I love the way it's shot. I mean, for freaking '94, man, it was almost groundbreaking.
This is the song I remember a lot. Golgotha Tenement Blues is the name of it.
23 million, and box office was 94 million. So did good.
Wow.
And the reception was pretty good. It was kind of a sleeper hit at the box office. filmed opened, and with 11 million, almost 12 million dollar opening, Miramax overstayed the weekend gross by as much as 1 million. So the film ultimately kept on going, and they had it in theaters for quite some time.
She's like
Anna
low
Thompson.
rent Drew Barrymore.
She's in Unforgiven.
She's like low rent Drew Barrymore mixed with low rent Angelina Jolie.
Oh, nice.
She does look like Drew Barrymore.
She
kinda.
is in Unforgiven. She's the prostitute who gets
Yeah.
cut up. Hey, here's another classic line. Maybe he's already said it, but this is a line from the comics too, where he says, "Mom is the name of God on the lips of a child," or something like that. That's a haunting line.
It is this movie is very much Hot Topic.
There's the morphine or the
Bringing the
drugs.
memories back.
He squeezes the drugs out of her.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
This guy's got a decent apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine Inch Nails is like two people, like Trent Reznor and someone else.
You want
An
the
assistant who
whole
just
album?
fanned him to keep him from overheating.
Atticus Ross. There it is.
Ah, she's got those weird lips.
She's terrifying.
She would suck the skin right off your dick.
Yeah, those lips are insane. What's
It's a colorful imagery, Danny.
that's
Yeah.
her name's Bai Ling as Mika.
I mean, it's
Brandon
it's
Lee's
it's
enough
a
for me.
solid movie. It's just this movie is like this. Yeah, this movie is like the soundtrack to teen suicide. After they got back from Hot Topic and they lit their incense, they drew a warm bath and then watched it on VHS while like pulling like the school TV on the big roller rack, just pulling it into the tub with them.
Yes, that's
Ending
what
it
happened.
all.
Their eyeliner just
Yes.
dripping.
Yes. As their parents came in to find them, the tub was stained a murky gray from all the eyeliner.
And the dad was like, "Thank God."
Yes, that was like finally.
That-
David Patrick Kelly playing T-Bird. He's in a lot of stuff too.
And then I was all like T-Bird. He was all like nerd, and I was all like fire it up.
I also love the movie RoboCop, and I do think of it when I think of The Crow. So I'm with
Really?
you, man.
Hmm.
It's just one of those, like, I mean, I know they both have sequels, but to me, they're just both two great standalone movies that represent their eras.
And a cigar you think he had there?
Probably a
that's
shitty one. I'd guess.
That's a backwoods.
Not the
That's a backwoods
Macanudos I bought
cigar.
for us. For
Not the
next couple
Macanudos,
weeks.
yeah.
They shot this scene so well with the car chase and,
That's
the-
awesome, yeah.
and then
And you
from,
know
like,
all this shit
both
was
cars
practical.
behind each other going
Oh,
fast.
like, all of it was practical.
You know, this
effects,
is stunt
for sure.
drivers just driving around having a time of their lives.
I
Yeah.
want to know where $23 million went. That sounds high.
I do love the soundtrack here. I always even did as a child.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
great.
good.
As he wraps him
Yeah, the
up.
T-Bird death is one of the best.
You almost feel sorry for him. You almost feel
Yeah.
bad
Sorry
for him.
for T-Bird.
That's the perfect way to do this, like revenge stories. Like you want him to get his revenge. They all deserve revenge, but just revenge and murder is inherently bad. And
Yeah.
the fact that you can still feel that, it just makes it more powerful. This movie would not have stayed with you if he wastes all these guys and no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
The fact that it hits hard, that's what really made this movie memorable.
I'm curious too if they named the character T-Bird because they could only afford this really crappy like 1977 Ford Thunderbird.
His original name was Bentley.
I was about to say maybe it was like Mercedes or Corvette, and they were like, "Ooh, we're lucky because we're gonna have to name him Ford Taurus Wagon." That T-Bird looks a lot like that hoopty that you and Scotty were driving in.
Yeah.
Thomas.
That thing was badass, man.
That
Although
thing
it
was, that was a Pontiac
didn't really start
Granville.
up all the time.
I think that was
but-
like a 1976 Pontiac Granville.
It was really cool.
There's the white cat.
Perfect.
Now is an interesting time to mention Michael Berryman's role in the movie. There was a entire subplot they cut from this with a skeleton cowboy who was sort of like a spirit guide for Eric Draven.
Wow.
And they filmed some of the scenes. You can see pictures of him online. His outfit it looks really scary, and it's Michael Berryman in there. But they cut a bunch of it, and depending on who you ask, some people say it's because they didn't finish filming the stuff they needed Brandon Lee for, and so they had to cut all of that. Some people have said, well, it was really more of a story thing because the skeleton cowboy sort of defeats the purpose of the crow. The crow is his spirit guide in this movie, and so having this like skeleton cowboy is sort of pointless. So yeah, there's a little bit of back and forth on that. Also, some people thought the skeleton looked too villainous, right? And then people would mistake him for being responsible for this in some way, but that was not their intention. So for all those reasons, the famous skeleton cowboy did not make it into this movie. Oh, Danny,
the
big
actual
moment's
Crow.
coming up.
Yeah. Do you think that that's Michael Wincott's actual hair?
I wouldn't
I
doubt it.
sincerely doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt
you
it.
think
Yeah,
it is? Scotty, you think it is?
I don't know. It
I
doesn't
don't know.
look
It's
like it.
very,
I don't
very
know.
long.
It looks
very long.
Very pretty.
He would have
It
had to
looks
grow
real
that
to
for
me.
a very long time.
That's a
I don't know how the Crow ever did what he did when he never tied his boots. They were never laced.
No, well, were any Goth's combat boots ever laced?
I'm not sure, but it definitely that's a plot hole.
And why does he have his shirt buttoned all the way up to the top with no tie?
It's very stuffy.
Well, he's showing you that it's character development that his father made him button his shirts up all the way. That's why he slept with his Asian sister.
I've
Aaron
been
Garcia.
a little warm on a fucking hook. I remember all these lines.
Just for a
Like-
second, like 2 times, that henchman guy that's all flubbery looked like John Bernthal.
All right, now Danny, being the person in the group who's had the most fights, tell us now: is this if you were to approach this? That's what I want you. If you would
Yeah.
enter this room right now, Danny, and all these guns, how would you have handled this fight?
Oh, well, I mean, I would have been immortal.
I
just
just
like him.
want him.
I still don't understand what the mafia's point is of
See, you'd
burning
be
the
screwed.
city down.
I don't know. There's too many guns, Carmelo, unless you're immortal. I'd hit the,
That's
I'd be
really
like,
it. That's your answer. What if they had your daughter in there? What would you do?
Oh, I'd be like Ace Ventura. I'd be like, hit the lights. And then I'd like
Yeah.
fall around on the ground.
Rolling around.
What's up with this guy?
Is
with
that
the beret
Thomas
on?
Francis Murphy? I almost thought I saw him because now I see him in everything. He was
No
in One
way.
Way with us, and I see
The guy
him
with the beret?
No, he like looked over. He's on at the table.
Absolutely no reloading going on that revolver.
So Carmelo, are you saying would my daughter be in that room, or they were just the guys that took my daughter?
Both, either. I don't know. There's
They were
a bunch
just
of
the
guys
guys
in a
that-
room with guns, and they have your daughter.
If she wasn't in that room, I would just fucking napalm that room. I would just get whatever I could and like set it on fire while they're all in there.
Not bad. I like it, Danny. I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that judo chop to the?
Yeah, that was a good judo
Yeah,
chop.
those chops aren't really playing.
Are you telling me that a judo chop to the collarbone wouldn't have just
No,
rendered him
chops-
incapacitated?
Chops are not practical.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
looking
yeah,
like it's
sure.
working out for him.
Yeah, that's right. It's karate chop.
Yeah.
Did you eat my
All the
schnitzel? Did
outfits
you eat my
these guys are
fucking
wearing.
schnitzel?
Hi-ya! That's right. You passed the test. The friend test.
This is probably where Matrix got their hallway scene from,
I'm sure it is.
or whatever hall scene, not hallway.
Ooh, the katana. You're all going to die.
I mean, he seems to
Oh,
be
that
killing
didn't
more
play.
people by throwing them out of windows.
Danny, do you think you'd fight differently though with superhuman strength?
Yeah, he's just wasting energy. You rolled backwards and kicked a guy.
Sure, he is showing off a little bit.
It is a good thing, though, that the office was rigged with strobe light. Just-
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's above a club, so
Well,
It is
actually,
a- yeah,
it's a giant
It
fan.
has that club light feel. So did he kill
Yeah.
Skank? He killed Skank. Yeah. Nope. Ernie Hudson's got to have a sig. CGI's pretty good for this. Actually.
Still,
yeah. I think the CGI here looks so good because it is surreal, and it's like it was designed to look surreal even then. It's because it's not trying to fake us to look super real.
I do appreciate that Ernie Hudson is a true smoker.
Yeah. Why does he have a cigarette right now? This time.
Because you always have to have a cigarette when you drive. So I appreciate that.
Well, he's got to have it to pair with his road beer.
I have actually been seeing that this movie's made like a resurgence with the emo resurgence. So I think that it's getting a whole new like life bred into it now.
Anyone who's ever, felt depressed or hated their life is going to resonate with this movie, I think. And we all go through that phase at some point.
he just got shot a ton of times.
You have
He's
to kill the
bleeding.
crow, not him.
You have to kill the crow.
Yeah.
But he's still, there's blood on him. Is that his blood?
No, it
there's
seals back up.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's blood,
it's either
there was
his
blood
and
on
it's sealed
Ernie
or it's
Hudson's
other
car
people's
seat
blood.
as well.
Yeah, it's true.
But they don't even kill the crow. I just think you need an incestual little.
Don't they kill the crow? Isn't that how they kill him?
No, but she just catches it and kind of holds it like a giant chicken.
I think she injures the crow is what happens. I think it gets shot, and I don't think it dies.
Tony Todd shoots the crow. Thank you.
That's right.
Which, if anybody's ever shot a gun, that crow there just would have been nothing but dust and feathers if it was shot with like this giant gun.
It was a through and through.
It wouldn't have mattered. It just would have been poof, and there just would have been raining feathers all in the church. There'd be no crow.
The main crow in this film his name is Magic, and it's actually a raven.
I
He
bet
is used
you-
in all the other Falling movies as well. So he's a trained raven that they used.
Ty and Draco popped in, and he's wondering what the guns are of the movie. Rob,
Beretta 92 FS, a bunch of Smith & Wesson 357s. A Mac 10 was what the beret wearing aviator guy was. And then there's like some strange gun that Tony Todd is using. It's some kind of like FN German fabrication.
okay.
Yeah, and apparently they were like, we
Oh
also don't care
shit!
if it was bullets.
There it goes. Yep, he shot the crow.
Yeah. And then Brandon Lee's all like, my bird.
Now I'm fucked.
Give me the girl.
Fuck, I'm dead. Carmel, this was set in Detroit, by the way.
Ah, yeah. And you know why? It's because it's cheaper to just film on location since Detroit actually looks like this.
Yeah.
And so they were able to just use
Run
it.
down.
Can pay the rent in bullets. I guess in Chicago, Aaron, maybe.
Sounds like a cheesy movie line.
Yeah, you can just shoot him up. Shoot him up. Fire it up.
I always remember when they force him to hold his family in the barbed wire rope.
Yeah, which kind of let me down because it's not really that hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have an action figure of the crow holding the church spire.
Oh, do you?
God, yeah, it's pretty
Of course you do.
There's
saw
the
it
ball
pop.
on the gargoyle.
You saw it, Rob? So he does die here, right? I mean,
cool. Yeah, he dies.
but the crow doesn't die all the way.
I don't think he dies because the crow dies. I think he dies because his vengeance is complete.
I mean, and all of this could have been
Okay, 'cause it's
avoided if
complete.
they just would have left the slum.
Okay.
If they just would have moved out of the slum apartment they were in, none of this would have happened.
I know.
Well, how's he supposed to do that on a punk rocker salary?
Well, I hope she had a job.
Shelley's so heartbreaking in this.
Oh.
I'm crying.
I know, me too. I wish you were here to hold me, Scott.
Now, if their 3-year-old got thrown
the
out the
grave
window, I'd
got
be crying
put
too.
back up again. Take a lead. That was fun. Thank you. It was
yes,
fun.
thank you guys for joining us. All right, guys.
All right, everybody.
Guys,
Thanks for joining us.
The
We'll talk to you later.
Later.
love you guys.